Let's give you an update on the markets front. The JSE has had a strong start to the morning with all major indices opening in the green. Talks between leaders of Russia and Ukraine look to have steadied somewhat, but the oil prices and Asian markets, that's a story for another day, I suspect. Locally, though, resources and the stocks, they continue to drive positive gains. Let's speak now to Carmen Mpelwane, Portfolio Manager at Absa Asset Management, to discuss this further. Carmen, very good morning to you. So, the markets opening in the green today, I wonder if you're going to call that a surprise. What is driving this?
Good morning. Yeah, so it seems that coming off the back of last week Thursday, where we saw a significant pullback and are largely driven by de-risking or risk-off environment, the JSE today has gone back in the green marginally. We know that up until today, from last week Thursday, this is largely driven by the mining sector, but we are seeing the retailers recover today as well. As you said, unexpected, but maybe concern around the fact that despite the talks falling through for a ceasefire, maybe things are not as bad as they are. However, I would beg to disagree, specifically where Russia is concerned. So I wouldn't be holding my breath too much.
Yeah. All right. Pessimist you are. Let's talk about the construction company Wilson Bailey, which is releasing its results today. While its African operations are doing okay, the Australian business is not doing all that fine. Tell us more.
So last week we were well guided in terms of the expectation for these earning announcements today. We saw WBHO coming out and saying that they are basically pulling out of Australia and they're taking that business into administration. This comes off the back of significant restrictions around COVID over the last 2 years, which has severely impacted the property market in Australia, and hence this decision has come about. We did see the share price react significantly negatively, and it was down about 25% on the day. It hasn't recovered. We expect to see more losses into the second half of the year, considering that this administration will be for the complete 12 months. So a large write-down for Australia. As you've mentioned, ex-Australia doesn't look as bad as the rest, or as Australia looked, but this was overshadowed by the Australian administration announcement.
Yeah, let's stay with company news. Mining firm Impala Platinum releasing their half-year results. What are some of the highlights there?
Yeah, so the results came out marginally weak, and that was largely driven by, number one, power supply issues that the miners, the mining giant has seen. We also see that there's been some industrial action which had an impact on production. So the concerns there are that production will not meet guidance, and hence guidance was adjusted downwards today, down about 8% for the year ahead. Concern there also around cost control. So we saw costs up 17% for the first half of the year. The commentary states that they're not expecting this to improve in the second half of the year. I think the thing that's going to be the tailwind or support for this company going forward is definitely going to be the platinum basket, which is expected to stay quite high. But having said that, we have seen the share price recover about 30% year to date, and they've had a good run. So yeah, we think that as much as it is a weaker announcement, the expectation is they are likely to meet the reduced guidance for the year.
Yeah. Finally, let's talk about the financial company PSG. The group announcing its plans to restructure the business. Dissect those plans for us.
Yeah, so effectively, PSG has come out with an announcement that they are proposing a restructuring. And what effectively that means is that all its listed investments that it holds, it's hoping to buy those back from its shareholders, and they're so allowing the company to be delisted from the JSE. What we are seeing this morning is a very positive reaction, and the share price up as much as 30% this morning already. Keeping in mind that some of the holdings that PSG does have is PSG Consult, as well as Curo at a 25.1% in Stadio as well.
Carmen Mpelwane, thank you very much for that markets update. And she is a portfolio manager at Absa Asset Management.